Alright. It is time for another episode of iCast, your freaking awesome replays. And of course, the challenge this week is Trend Breaker, where players had to break out of the meta, buck the normal expectations, and play an off-meta style, a unique style, or something that changes the trend. So this was basically an open call for, hey, creative people, get out there, do something different, show us what you got. Let's see what we got up here in the top left. Representing Clan Brank, it is Gateway Man. His name's Gateway Man. He's got a picture of angry ARTOSIS. For anyone who doesn't watch ARTOSIS' Brood War stream, he absolutely loves Protoss players who are what he calls Gateway Men. They don't tech up, they just make 1,000 Zealots and Dragoons and just constantly try to like do really stupid headbutty attacks. It's his favorite thing in the world, he loves it. And I'm very glad to see this Protoss player embodies that style. Down here at the bottom right-hand side, it's a piece of zit. Normally POS means piece of shit, but in this case, it's a Zerg player. Piece of zit. That's what we're going to call this Zerg. Now, that was a 12 pool, and it's being scouted by this probe. So quickly coming down to put down a second gateway. But look at this. What's he about? This drone here looks like he has the shape of a dick on his forehead for sure. That's a Captain Dickhead if I've ever seen one. And notice he's doing nothing but build Zerglings behind. I think he's going to try to wall off with a hatchery. Or maybe he's going to do it up on the high ground. Okay, yeah, look at that. Look at that. The drone comes in. It's a mineral only, all in attack. He's building, no, he's building drones. I was about to say, this is actually not abnormal. There's a very common attack where you do this. You just non-stop build queens out of here, Zerglings out of here, rally Zerglings, and you just try to break the wall and get in, and you might even come in with another drone, build another hatchery in there, and because you never take gas, you just go endless stream of Zerglings. But Piece of Zit has gone and built 2 more drones, and now he's going back to Zerglings. He can't even make up his mind. This is about as off-meta as it gets. He goes for one thing that leads into an all-in really well, then doesn't commit to the all-in. Then he decides, nah, actually, I will commit to the all-in. It's Florencio style, guys. It's very much that. If I don't know what I'm doing, you can't possibly read into it. And I think Gateway Man's at a bit of a loss right now. He's trying to build Zealots. He didn't build a second pylon. Oh, this is definitely a Gateway Man, guys. He does get a Zealot in the wall. He starts a second pylon. That's the first thing you're meant to do when you're getting rushed, is build a second pylon. He builds it 1 minute and 20 seconds after he spots the 12 pool. Piece of zit here. Getting a bit of a free pass. Oh, did he just F2? Oh, this Protoss F2'd. He doesn't use control groups. He doesn't use control groups, so he keeps just F2ing his Zealots over. Oh my god, the Zealots are kind of getting shredded, kind of shredding these Zerglings. But there is a Queen and more Zerglings building on the high ground. More Zerglings walking in here. Trying to build more Zealots and Stalkers now. And another probe does go down. These Zealots derping about a little bit. The Zerglings like twerking their little Zergling booty saying, chase us, chase us, chase us. But they are kind of leading them back to where the problem is. Ooh, is he going to try and depower the front? Looks like he is, but great focus. Oh, those Zerglings do actually lure 2 of the Zealots around. That means this Zealot could get surrounded, and he does. Look at that. That Zealot goes down. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, they get up into the main base. They do get surrounded there. Citizens arrest. The probes take him out. More Zealots down here. But look at that. The Zerglings splitting up their attention. And that pylon getting dangerously low. That other gateway has already been depowered. What is a Gateway Man without his gateways? Says Piece of Zit. Piece of Zit, though, unable to power the last gateway. Oh, another probe's coming down to rebuild some pylons here. That Zealot is doing pretty well. That Stalker's going to help out a little bit. The Zealot in the wall. Zealot and Stalker trying to hold on. A few pylons go down. I don't think that completes the wall off, though. There's only 1 Zealot and 1 Stalker, and there is still a non-stop stream of Zerglings coming out. This Queen has been injecting this hatchery. She's finally going to go down to a probe. No, she takes out the probe, survives on 7 hit points. The Stalker says, get out of here, you dickhead. Creep Tumor does get down, though. Uh-oh, that Creep Tumor, the Zealot and Stalker, they don't want to let the Tumor finish, but because they're distracted by it, it does finish. No, it does go down, but the Zealot dies. The Stalker's super low. There's only... Okay, another Stalker pops out. That Stalker in the main mineral line is in trubs right now. Does pull back there. The probes are going to pull to support it, but I think the other Stalker might be going down. That Stalker barely survives. The other Stalker's out. Another Zealot did pop in the wall, which is good. If Gateway Man, who's got 800 minerals, would use his gateways, he might have a chance in this game, but... Gateway Man clicks, builds 1 Stalker, doesn't use the other gateway at all, doesn't have the gateways control grouped either, is having to manually scroll down and click on the gateways. The mechanics of an absolute god here. An absolute Gateway Man. Is he the gate? Not the goat, but the gate? Yes, he's the gate of Protoss. And remember, guys, that very high skill ceiling. You know, it's a very hard skill floor in StarCraft, unless you play Gateway Man Protoss. But then there is always the weakness if they depower your gates. Now, Gateway Man does get his 2 gates back up. He's got 3 Stalkers, a 4th Stalker. Look at that, he knows how to micro a Stalker. It's pretty advanced, man. Notice how he clicked it and moved it away from the Zerglings that were killing it. He's got 2 more gates up. I think he's held on. The Zerg does have an expansion. He's building a queen there. He's got a queen in the main, but he hasn't really been injecting at all. No creep on the high ground still. That Overlord's going to go down. Ooh, that's going to supply block Mr. Zerg player. Piece of zit. You piece of zit. Queens and Zerglings in the main mineral line. Stalker's going to try and bait them over. Probes do turn to fight. Nice fight with the probes, but those queens are going to take them down. Uh-oh. Stalkers on the ramp get intercepted. Lots of probes falling in that main mineral line. These Stalkers are doing okay, but so many probes dying up there. That Stalker's just hanging out behind the mineral line. He's like, oh, just let my shields regenerate, bro. Those probes, you've only got 10 left. You got to keep them alive, buddy. There's a Nexus that's on the way, but it's not here. Every probe that goes down is massive. And look at that focus fire. Piece is it. Takes down 3 probes extra off that 1 queen. And looks like another Stalker went down, trapped there, unable to pull back. Zerglings, I believe, can walk right through this opening, but they're choosing to sit and attack instead. 4 Stalkers are available, but one of the gateways goes down. He's only half a gateway man now. Artosis and Tasteless still standing strong next to each other, powering that single gateway. And those Zerglings are going to have to back off behind this. You can see this Zerg has a huge brain, guys. When the Zergling rush has been held, it's time to build more slow Zerglings and hope that your opponent has an aneurysm. That's what he's hoping for here. It's a very high-level play. Of course, he's crunched the numbers and he says, you know, if 1 in 100,000 people has an aneurysm once every 3 months, and this game does last for 3 more months, then there's actually an almost 1 in 100,000 chance that my opponent has an aneurysm. So if I keep building queens and lings, I have at least a 1 in 100,000 chance of winning the game, which is higher than a Zerg player's ever had against Protoss in all of life and ladder. So I think it's good reasoning from Piece of Zit, who's now just sacrificing more and more lings to take out a cyber core. Can he get 1 pylon? Can he get... No, just he got a cyber core there. And he damaged his Stalker. Okay. I thought he was going to build an epic advantage. As it is, he's still on 26 workers versus 16. Looks like he's still winning. And he's still building 10 more slow Zerglings. Holy shit. When in doubt, pull out. That's a saying which I don't think Piece of Zit ever heard. Piece of Zit's like, oh, you're on the, you know, you're using the pill, right, love? The Protoss player's like, yes, I am totally doing that. And he's like, okay, cool. Gets halfway through, ling rushing this Protoss. Gateway man's like, haha, just trolling. Haha, get me pregnant for Jesus. Just like wraps his zealots around the fucking hips of Piece of Zit. And Piece of Zit's like, oh, no, it's cool. Gateway man's like, what? Aren't you going to pull out? He's like, no, I'll build more Zerglings in your base. This is a bit of a weird combination, you know? It's one of those things. The Zerg player really wanted to get the Protoss pregnant. We thought the Protoss didn't want that. Maybe he does. I think they're both very confused about what their goals are in this life here on Submarine. A bit of a Zergling run by is actually going to work out pretty well. Recalls the units home in panic, loses a pylon. The slow Zergling run by. Now this time does pull out, but I think I understand Piece of Zit as a player. It's pulling back to go back in a few moments, right? He's going to like run around here and just walk back in, I bet. There's no way. We've seen. He has an inability to contain himself. He's 100% going to go back in there. For sure. For sure. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, Roach Warren is about 1/3 of the way done. We've got some creep spread now. So it's 2 base Zerg, 32 drones. Up against a 29 probe Protoss. It's a pretty even game. I like that the Protoss didn't rebuild the wall. And I mean, honestly, why would you bother? Opponent doesn't even have ling speed all game. Fuck it. Let's just... Observer's like, hey, you don't have a 3rd. So I think Protoss is realizing they're in an okay position. Double Robo Immortal, which is pretty good at killing roaches. Not so good against Zerglings. So normally with that, you'd build Zealots or Adepts to deal with the lings and Immortals deal with the roaches. What's the bet? Gateway Man only builds Stalkers and Immortals and goes across the map and attacks off 2 to 3 gateways with no warp prisms. I've seen this sort of play before. I've seen it. I know. I'm seeing into the future. I'm scratching me head. I'm rubbing me little Warlock ball, which definitely isn't a Terran player's testy that I've stolen off the ladder. No, definitely not. Random tangent. If you ever come to Australia, do make sure you go to one of the souvenir shops and get a bottle opener that's made out of a kangaroo sack. I had one for many years. A friend gave me for a present. At a certain point, it had soaked in so many beer spills and stuff, it did smell rather nasty. But it was a lot of fun up to that point. I should get a new one. If there's one really silly tourist souvenir you should get, Most of them suck. Don't get a snow globe at the fucking harbor bridge or a kangaroo or some shit. Get a kangaroo sack. Oh my god, pieces. It's just going to go for it. Absolute YOLO. Clicking on that immortal. Oh my god. He damages an immortal and forces battery overcharge and loses most of his army. Oh my god, piece of zit is getting absolutely diddled right now. Dude, you know you can just A-move that gateway, man. You've got like 5 times the unit count he does. You know, there's like as many zerglings as you have army units. Just go win get. Guys, you can always tell we're watching high-level StarCraft when one player has the inferior army and is just running around like, yeah, get fucking. The other guy's like, well, if he's posturing so aggressively, it must be because he has the better army. It's like, no, you could attack move and win the game. Gateway Man's like, hey, not so sure. Not so sure. Gonna lose me Robo. And I'm gonna start building a disruptor. We're still on 1 gate, by the way. Okay, all right, Gateway Man's figured it out. He's figured it out. Okay, gets in there. All right. Okay, 1 sentry looks like it will go down, but oh, the shield battery is keeping everything else alive. All the zerglings are gone. Gateway Man should have this in the bag. Unfortunately, oh no. I mean, if we were looking at this and this was anyone else, I'd say this Protoss player is winning the game, but Gateway Man only has 1 gateway. He's lost his power. He's had his mojo taken. Oh no. He doesn't make any of the Zergs randy anymore, you know? He's lost his mojo. He's no longer an international Protoss gateway man of mystery. He's, he doesn't have a license to immortal push anymore. There's no prism. No prism. Only stalkers and immortals and 1 gate. Did I not call this? Did I not call this? Wait, is he actually going to go home? 2 Zerglings ran past. I swear he would have pushed if it wasn't for those 2 Zerglings. Watch. No pylon to warp in, no reinforcement point, and he's building 3 more robos. I'm starting to think his name might be a lie. I think his name might be a fucking lie. Gateway Man. Well, I guess it's not Gateways Man, right? There's only 1. Maybe it is the truth. He's like, no, I just get 1 gateway, and then I make 5 robos. Like, what do you... Big ball. Big ball does take out... Wait, those 2 immortals got recalled, leaves the rest of the army. I still no zealots. Hasn't reinforced the army in like 5 minutes. Oh my god. He's going more immortals and disruptors versus what has been mostly zerglings. Finally, after having his army cleared, he realizes, hey, maybe getting a Colossus or 2 would be a good idea. Piece of Zit, by the way, has shown mass endless slow zergling attacks, followed by Ravages and Lings. Now, behind the Ravages and Lings, notice... Remember what we said earlier, when it doesn't work, keep doing the exact same thing. That's Piece of Zit's philosophy. So he's going in with Ravager Link once again here. He's going to try and cancel the 3rd base. And since there's no units warping in, it's literally just a rally of Zerglings is winning the game. I cannot believe this. Oh man, those 2 are more... Oh, battery overcharge is pretty good though. Well, this is a silly engage. Oh, this is a very silly engage. The Disruptor Shot kills like 8 Lings. Imagine if he clicked on the shield battery, then killed the immortals. Could you guys imagine that? 2 Colossus come out. They started stepping into the Zerglings. Oh, big ball. Got just like 10 Lings there. Oh my god. Are you still pushing in? Once again, pieces it with 2 Ravagers and 4 Zerglings. There's like, yeah, I can take out 2 Colossi. No worries. Pushes on out there. I love that we've still got 4 Robos up, despite, I think, 2 Robos dying this game. And it's like, yeah, no worries. Can you keep the 3rd alive, though? The Lings are trying to click on it. No, they're going to go for the Colossi. Oh, this does not end well for you guys. Oh, my God. They damage the Colossi, but they all get roasted. More Lings coming in here. You can see, when in doubt, pull out. Once again, pieces. It's like, never. I want to be pregnant. I want to get you pregnant, I guess. Pieces, it's the one who's running the Zerglings in. I don't know. I don't know how Protoss-Zerg hybrid relations work. You need to ask Amon, man. That's the weirdo who's like, yeah, I'm going to breed these 9-foot aliens with these bugs. We're going to create some sort of weird futuristic race that's half fucking... Basically, apparently, every time you breed a Zerg with a Protoss, it's just a squid that comes out. Let's be real. Every one of the hybrids, it's like they either have the squid beard, like the guy out of Pirates of the Caribbean, or they've got like a squid skirt, or they've got squid arms. Like they've always got some part of squid on them. And I guess it makes sense because maybe Amon's mixing his genes in. It's like a bit of a blend, mixes it together. He's got octopus beard, right? I'm pretty sure Amon looks exactly like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. I do like that. I like it when they're always original. They're like, yep, StarCraft 2 campaign. We're going to have a Dragon Ball Z fight. Main bad guy is going to look like Davy Jones. It's a sequel, so Reynor's, of course, been hitting the juice. He's got 30 kilograms of muscle on his body. You're like, why does he have 30 kilograms of muscle? Isn't he meant to be like 55? They're like, yeah. So he felt like, he's working out because he's so sad about his girlfriend being a Zerg now. And you're like, I guess that makes sense. Like, I'm not sure it does, but okay. Oh my. That was like watching someone just be like, he's Zergy. And just like, he waves his fucking knife and then just throws it to the Zerg. And the Zerg's like, jumps up and just eats the disruptor shot. It's like, it's not every day you get a Zerg army where every single roach in the army apparently is a big fan of the Tide Pod challenge. It's essentially what they just did though. They just grabbed that purification, nice little disinfectant pill. They went, oh yeah, super Tide Pod, extra stain removal cleaning. Cool. All those roaches ate it. 5 of their comrades remain after their whole army gets wiped. And they go, yeah, we're probably fucked. Now this here is the ultimate ground pounding army, guys. There's no way you could possibly beat this. Roaches and Zerglings, they can't do shit. That's 7 disruptors, 5 colossus, all of which don't shoot up. And yes, he's building mutalisks. Piece of zit, after committing to the same dumb shit over and over again while it's not working, has actually had a 300 IQ moment. I've always talked about trying to go, the better way to reach 300 IQ is not to raise your IQ, it's to lower it. Piece of zit was like, bam, 10 IQ, 8 IQ, IQ, 7, 6, 5. He hit 0 IQ, he's ticked over. Look at that, he's built air units against the guy with nothing that can shoot up. He's hit 300 IQ. Absolute fucking genius. Builds around a mutas. He says, okay, all of my moves that made no sense were setting up for this moment. Now, unfortunately, the mutas take a while to clean this up, and the Colossus are having a bit of a party. Oh, they're roasting, they're toasting, but most of the Colossi are gone. Oh my god, these disruptors are killing eggs, killing drones. The Colossus are having a party. Oh my god, this might just be too much damage. Unfortunately, Gateway Man is not a Star Gateway Man. He's not a Stargate Man. And he's only building 2 Stargates and trying to build... That's too late. And only 2? Wouldn't you build like 4 there? I would have built 4 Stargates. Oh my god, there's still 1 Colossus though. And there's only 13 mutas out. If he can get out 6 Phoenix, he's fine, I think. But I don't think he's going to get 6 out in time. His first 2 are only just about to pop. Now he goes to 4 Stargates. He's got some batteries, but no cannons. He didn't have a forge. You couldn't build them. Probes will beat those Zerglings, but it's all about keeping the Phoenix count alive and getting it higher and higher. Now, Piece of Zit needs to find the Stargates and depower them. Yeah. Oh, he gets on top of the Phoenix. The Phoenix needs to get the fuck out of there, man. Okay, they're gonna do some damage. Are these mutts? Okay, these Phoenix, I mean, you can lose like 20 probes here as long as you don't lose your Phoenix. As long as you don't lose your Phoenix. Oh, he flies over the batteries, which is actually really good. If you can get between the mutas and their reinforced, that'll work quite nicely. Oh my god, he takes a lot of damage from those mutas though. Okay, there's 4 Stargates now, and I think it's been cleaned up. There's only 7 mutas left. There's still 4 Phoenix here. And yes, he lost a lot of probes, but not as many as the Zerg did, I don't think. And he's got the hard counter to this army right now. Mass Phoenix versus Mutts, man. This is a fun game. Ooh, those mutas, can they get 1 more Phoenix? Nope. They clicked on the wrong Phoenix. And that there was a trade, guys. 1 Phoenix died for 12 mutas. Nicely done by Gateway Man, who immediately counter pushes 2 Colossus, 1 Disruptor. A little bit of the reversal of the human anatomy, but that's the way Protoss players have it. For those who didn't know, it's a 1 round thing for 2 tall, long things. That's generally how they like to do their ratio. GG, well played! And it was Gateway Man who actually came. I was wondering who sent that replay in, because I'm like, they're both playing like weirdos. And I love it. I do think the slow Ling attack into the drones, into the slower Ling attack, into the slow Ling attack, into, of course, followed with a slow Zergling attack was a pretty masterful way of doing it. I honestly think after the slow Zergling attacks didn't work, but then he did another 16 of them, I was like, oh, that's fucking genius. Why didn't I think of that? Gateway Man, on the other hand, apparently only a fan of the single Gateway. So we thought he was a liar, but it was all a mind game. It was all a trick. Well played, Gateway Man. Thank you for that lovely display of high-level peak StarCraft 2. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, everyone who's been supporting the Patreon. Big shout out, of course, especially to our Leviathan, Vivek, and Maxan for being the conductor of the D-Town Express. Thank you, everybody, though, for your support and your generosity. It's allowing us to keep the content going. Let's go right on into another ICYFAR game. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.